It's been no secret that there's been a problem with Marvel within the last couple of years. A lot of it is pretty obvious post Endgame, but I mean, I was thinking there was probably problems starting to surface before that. But even then, it wasn't too bad. But after Endgame, we saw everything become more obvious, and movies that used to just hit out the ballpark on opening night have been failing, and we've been seeing a string of box office bomb from Marvel, as well as their viewership on their Disney Plus shows have been mediocre to bad at best, with the Rotten Tomatoes scores not being much better. And that's why statements like this from Bob Iger, where he says, frankly, it diluted focus and attention when talking about the flood of Marvel movies and series on the Disney Plus platform. So a lot of people are wondering, well, is this going to be them kind of cutting back, reflecting, and saying we're going to do quality over quantity sort of thing? And that's kind of the approach Bob Iger was taking with this. And at the Disney earning call, he basically said as much, that they want to, take a step back from everything and just kind of focus on making good products again. And I mean, almost like admitting, like, yeah, we've kind of slipped in recent years, but we're going to get better, which seems to be the right things to say. But I was skeptical about it. I mean, even though there was other signs that that's what they were doing, and a lot of people were wondering, like, okay, I mean, it makes sense that they would do sort of things, especially with the strikes going on and other stuff like that, that yeah, maybe they will start canceling products and kind of rearranging what they're going to do in order to try to win back the audience that was obviously abandoning them. But this latest news coming from the Hollywood Reporter suggests otherwise. So right now we got this article: Marvel shuffles TV calendar with new dates for Agatha, Echo, X-Men 97 exclusive. What If is also getting a new date. So I got to tell you, this is actually kind of disappointing, because I'm not saying I had hope that they were going to get better, but this article I read earlier just suggests like they're actually not getting better, that they're just going to try to prolong it, if you will. So right here, Marvel Studios has rescheduled the release dates for its slate of television shows. Now, I'm not going to say that this is entirely hopeless. There are some glimmers of hope to be had with this, but let's continue. So What If, Echo and Agatha Coven of Chaos, now titled Agatha Darkness Diaries, are among the titles receiving new dates. The move comes amid Hollywood strikes as well as general pullback at Disney Plus. All right. So it talks about the strike and how that's been having an issue with the business, blah, blah, blah. But scrolling down into the article, it talks about the new release schedule that they're having. So Loki is getting pushed back, but it's still on. What If, it gets a release date announced. Echo, that's getting pushed back. And that's a funny one, considered that was a show that obviously Disney knows that there's a problem with it, because they're just dropping it all at once onto their platform. Normally what Disney wants to do is they want people to subscribe to their platform and then to stay on. So it's like, hey, if someone was actually like, I wanted to watch Echo and it starts at this time, they want it to kind of go for over a month, releasing it week by week, so that the person would have to subscribe to a couple months in order to watch it. But the fact that they're just dumping it all at once just kind of indicates that they're maybe embarrassed with it, that they don't want people to actually be talking about it for a long period of time. It's something that they know isn't good, so they're just trying to dump it and get it out of the way. And in fact, there's been rumors in the past that this show was supposed to be canceled, but they needed content during this whole strikes going on, so it basically saved it in a way. And honestly, I think that's kind of sad, and it also flies in the face to what Bob Iger suggested that they were trying to do, producing more quality over quantity. But I mean, that, of course, that was just a rumor from a stunt person involved with Marvel, who's been heavily involved with it. So I don't know, take that with what you will. But I mean, to me, it seems a little bit more obvious, or it seems likely, considering that they are just dumping it in one day and then trying to forget about it. Let's see, going down, yeah, release dates for X-Men 97, which is supposedly a spiritual successor to the 90s animated version. Just watch the 90s animated one. You don't need to watch this. That series was fantastic. So Agatha and the WandaVision spinoff, fall 24 release, something that really no one cares about. I mean, they're doing it. They're still doing it. But some of the more glimmers of hope in there, something like Ironheart, for instance, it says that was initially kind of delayed indefinitely, then given like a date, and now it's delayed indefinitely again. And for people who don't know, when something's canceled, that means they're not doing it. Delayed indefinitely means they might cancel it, but they don't know what they're going to do with it. They might continue with it. So it's, to me, that's a good sign if that's something that they're willing to actually pull the plug on, because no one wants to see this, but they might still go through with it. I mean, they just don't know how to fit it into their schedule. And that goes also with Daredevil, Born Again, and Wonder Man, two shows that I think people are dreading. I mean, I like the Netflix Daredevil, but this one is just an embarrassing version of it, and I would like it if it did pull the plug on it, because frankly, Charlie Cox is too good for the MCU, and I mean, his appearance in She-Hulk was embarrassing enough. I mean, I don't want to see him subjugated to what they're going to do with Daredevil, Born Again. To say that these are being delayed delayed indefinitely because of the strikes going on suggests that they could get pulled, because studios have been pulling deals with writers and showrunners in the past and using kind of the strikes as a justification for it. I mean, sometimes they signed the deals, had buyer's remorse, and wanted to get rid of it. So this is an excuse for it. So maybe they're taking them up on that for these two shows. I don't know. Maybe they're still going to try to figure out a way to do it. But either way, I do get the feeling from this that Disney hasn't learned their lesson. I mean, I think they're still focusing on quantity over quality, which is a problem with the whole MCU to begin with. They stopped using directors who actually had a passion for that particular character or that story, and just decided to hire directors who would just helm the project for them. A lot of people who had no experience and no business with something of that scale. And as a result, we've seen the quality slip over the years, and everyone notices it. It's just a matter of whether Disney thinks it's actually worth trying to fix. And apparently by this latest news, they don't think it's that much of an issue to try to fix it. They're just trying to almost mask the issue right now until eventually there's enough people abandoning them that they'll try to correct course. But I think by that time it'll be too late. But let me know what you think about all this in the comment section below. And if you like this video, make sure you click that like button, share the video, and subscribe to the channel if you want to stay up to date with the latest news. Thank you.